Bonjour! My name is David DeVere. I'm a wine educator and traveler, and you're watching Savvy Nomad TV, the eau de vie edition. This is day 13 of the Costco Wine Adventure box. Let's see what the box has got for us today. All right, so if you're new here and you don't know what's going on, you can check this link in the file card, or you can look at the playlist link in the description. We're on day 13. That means you're going to need a new tasting card. So link in the description to my website where you can download a PDF of that. Okay. Whites, reds, we're not in even parity. This should be a red, but they have proven me wrong before. Here's number 13. Let's see if I can get this open. Oh goodness, I'm hacking this away. All right. It's a red. It's a Merlot. It's from Bulgaria. So on day 2, we had a French Merlot from the Languedoc area, a generic large region in France. Even though Merlot grew up in France, evolved there, is a signature grape in France, the box gave us one from a region that's not known for its Merlot. Merlots in France come from Bordeaux, and some of the finest wines in the world come from there. Some of the biggest, best, most velvety, woodsy, beautiful Merlots and most expensive wines come from Bordeaux. Those are Saint-Emilions and Pomerols. They are considered right bank Bordeaux's. Those are Merlots from France. Our day 2 wine, our first Merlot, was disappointing. Now we have an opportunity to try one from Bulgaria. The back label says you'll get to see how the Bulgarian terroir is expressed here in this Merlot. So I've mentioned terroir a bit before. Let's talk about it now. Terroir is a French concept, and it means that everything conspires to make the grape express its place. The noble grapes, which I've talked about before too, and which Merlot is one of, are the best at expressing terroir. Terroir is the soil, yes, but it's also the climate, and it's also even part of the weather of that year. That's why vintage dates are important in wine, because every year you get different weather, because at the heart of winemaking is agriculture, and agriculture is fickle. It's dependent upon the rains, the frost, the sun. So terroir is all of those concepts put together, not just the dirt. And so the terroir of the place expresses itself in the grape, and the grape changes. So a Syrah from the Côte d'Or region is different from a Syrah in Australia, which they call Shiraz. And it tastes different. A Riesling from Germany tastes different from a Riesling in Washington State. Same grape, but they taste different. So let's try our Bulgarian Merlot and see if it tastes different than standard Merlots. A standard Merlot should be woodsy. It should be a little bit earthy, maybe herbal, and have a little bit of cedar box. It should smell like damp earth, and it should be big in the mouth and very dark and flavorful. Let's try it. We'll start with the temperature. The temperature is 57.8. That's fine, no problem. Again, red wine can carry a higher temperature than white wine. Generally, you can drink it a little bit warmer, but you don't want it too warm. Again, that if your red wine is too warm, it will burn in the throat. So that's how you tell. Does it burn on the way down? Yep. Okay, that's too warm. Often restaurants screw that up, which is why ordering wine by the glass is not necessarily a good idea. You never know how that restaurant is storing that open bottle behind the bar. It's probably, I've even seen them next to like the refrigerator exhaust just getting baked all day long, and then they pour you a glass for $7 and it's terrible. Okay. Here's our Bulgarian Merlot. Color is nice. Here's what it looks like. It is more red than purple. So I'm going to circle red, and it's not deep and dark. It's a medium color. Okay, I'm hoping for this. I like Merlots generally. One of the Merlot producers that I like the most is Canoe Ridge out of Washington. They do a beautiful Merlot made in the Walla Walla River area, or the Walla Walla, yeah, it's the river area, Columbia River, Walla Walla. Anyway, what do we smell? Well, fresh fruit. Maybe a touch of raspberry or maybe a little hint of cherry. It's not overly expressive. It smells okay. And I'm going to give it a 6. Nice aromas, but nothing too exciting. That seems fair. Okay, let's taste it. Okay, dry or sweet? Dry. What's the body? I would expect a Merlot to be full-bodied. Well, this is a Bulgarian Merlot, so I guess they can change it a bit. But this is medium. The acidity is crisp. You can feel it's quite tart. It's on the tongue. It's not, I know it says tart here as an option, but crisp is really where this acidity is. What do we think about this acidity? It's 6. It's fine, but nothing too exciting. Nothing too special. And honestly, in red wines, we don't look for this really searing acidity like we do in white wines. So the acidity should take a second place to the tannins and the aromas and complexity of a red wine. That's really what we're looking for in reds. Okay, balance. Let me take another sip because I think I noticed something. The tannins are nice. They're grippy, but they're a little bit soft. The alcohol is slightly pronounced. It did burn a little. The sugars are fine, and the acids are fine. So the balance is fair. I'm going to give it another 6. Nice, but nothing special. I'm not overwhelmed by the quality of the wine here. That's what a 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 would mean. Complexity. Do I notice any additional flavors? Well, frankly, no, I don't. Is it just a few flavors disappointing? For a red wine, for a Merlot that should have this beautiful, thick flavor, and really, if you want to have a good example, that Canoe Ridge Merlot from Washington is great. Go buy one of those, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. So, just a few flavors. Disappointing. Yes, that's true. 4. And the finish and length. Does it add to the sensation? No. Is it bad? No. Is it exciting? No. Is it a little watery? Maybe. I'm going to give it okay. Nothing to get excited about. 4 points. All right, there's my Bulgarian Merlot. I'm going to go do my math. Okay, here are my day 13 Bulgarian Merlot scores. Aroma 6, acidity 6, balance 6, complexity 4, finish and length 4. 26 points, add that to 50, and you've got 76 points. Firmly rooted in average. This is an average red wine. This is a good example of a table wine. If I didn't know, if it didn't say Merlot, I would think, great, a table wine, a red wine to go with lunch. And if I came in a carafe pitcher at the table or was included with my meal, I would be happy with it. That's just fine. But if I wanted a Merlot, a really saturated, full-flavored Merlot at a good deal, I would seek out that Canoe Ridge Merlot. It's 20 bucks a bottle. It's a nice example. They're not paying me to say this. In fact, nobody's paying me to say any of this. I'm just doing it because I like wine and I like growing a wine community. So, if you like this, give me a thumbs up. If you're new here, consider subscribing. And if you tasted this, or if you didn't taste it and you've got a question, leave me a comment down below. I enjoy reading those, and I do try to respond to everyone. All right, that's it for day 13. Until tomorrow, for day 14, I say à tout à l'heure and cheers.
Hello. Hello, Merlot, I should say. Pretty color. Kind of smells like tart red fruits like cranberries to me. You really cannot judge how a wine is going to taste by how it smells, but that makes me think it's going to be tart. And I kind of like being prepared in that way. It's a little tart. Maybe a little bit bitter, but maybe it's the same tartness as that Côte de Gascon that I had such a hard time with, but I'm not minding it today. Maybe because I haven't had breakfast or lunch and I'm starving. Anyway, it's fine. Thanks.